We're so excited to be here for the union of Zee and Sasha. Is everybody else excited? Yeah! Engage with audience, check. And how about that dancing earlier? Like, that was amazing. Let's give it up for that one more time. All right, engage with audience, second time, check. My name is Matt. Some of you may know me as Posner. Others may know me as Zishan's ethnic friend. Earlier tonight, I was the confused guy over by the buffet table.
My name is Sam. I've known Zishan for almost 20 years. But the real reason I'm here tonight is I'm a huge Harry Houdini fan, actually. And what Zee and Sasha don't know is the wedding's not official until I escape from the water tank that we're going to wheel out here shortly.
Before we get into things, I just wanted to thank the families just for being so warm and welcoming through all the festivities. For the shakes for the wedding that was last summer in South Bend at the beautiful country club, and the Sabdanis for renting out the entire Dayton Convention Center last winter for that wedding. But you know, this wedding does feel a little different. I feel like you can probably feel it. Everybody feels this. Mostly because I'm not sure who's hosting. So it's a little confusing, and actually, since we don't know who's hosting, maybe we're all hosting tonight. So give yourselves a round of applause for being such a great host tonight. And since you're assuming ownership of tonight, feel free to loot anything on the way out. But seriously, thank you for whoever's hosting. I think it's Zee and Sasha.
Right. And we hope we see everyone at wedding number 4. I think it's October 26th. Where is it?
Juarez, Mexico.
Yeah, but our group of friends has always been known for just giving great nicknames to each other. For Kyle Oxman, we have Ox. For Matt Posner here, we have Pose. And then for Zishan, no one really knows how we came up with it, but we call him Z. But I've known Z since I met him in middle school, but our friendship really took off in high school. We had advisory together, which is kind of like a homeroom. And we quickly realized that we had some tastes that we didn't share with other guys. Like, we watched Grey's Anatomy. We could, tell each other what cologne we were wearing when we walked in. We liked fashion. But we proved to each other that, we could like that, but still just be the epitome of, just rugged masculinity. And I always appreciated that about Zishan.
And I met Zishan in middle school at an awkward prepubescent age, or at least for me it was prepubescent. Zishan had a beard long before I met him. And then our relationship grew as we joined Destination Imagination together. Shout out to that. Where we solved complex problems, we performed skits, and wondered why girls weren't into us. If you look at it, like on paper, we're so different. It's just crazy that we're friends. Different backgrounds, different religions, different gang affiliations. But there is one thing that we all have in common, at least the 3 of us have in common, and that is
that none of us are real doctors. No, but when I came to Ohio State late, these guys all went fresh out of high school. I went to another school, made that mistake, transferred into Ohio State. And in that spring, I was really confused because Zishan had another group of friends, and it's like, what's going on here? And we've always accepted, Zishan's like, yeah, I'm going to an Indian party. We're like, okay, cool, we're not invited. But he had a new group of white friends, which I was like, what? This is not cool. But it took about a semester or so, and he was back in the fold, and we lived together for our junior and senior year of college.
So during college, we lived together, we liked to mess around, do wrestling moves, yelling like prom at people when they would dress up. But Zishan really outdid himself one year when he pretended to be a girl from Canada and catfished me for 6 months. And I was totally smitten. And it really just turns out that Zishan is the perfect guy and girl for me. But then it got really weird when he started Mrs. Doubtfiring me.
No, but if you know anything about Zishan, and it's been mentioned before, he's a huge foodie. it's one thing I love about visiting Zishan or traveling with Zishan. I know that we'll end up eating something amazing, and he's done his research. And in college, like he'd set the crock pot before we went out, so we'd come back to something delicious. And the only time I ever saw him cry was when he left his to-go box on the table at a really good Thai place in college. So, and the food here was wonderful. Last night was great, and can't wait for whatever else is in store before we head back.
I remember it was towards the end of college, he came home one summer and decided to cook a turkey and have a big Friendsgiving. And Maxie and Maggie were there. And that was actually the first night. It was such a great time. It was the first night that I actually said I love you to my now wife, Shiran. And I always thought that I was also saying I love you to Zishan that night. But I've known Z for such a long time, and he has this weird connection with my family, and they just love him. He's the giant hairy son that my parents never had, except for my brother Jordan. And when I say that Zishan gets along with my family, I'm not kidding. Like, there are pictures in my house, in photo albums, with Zishan and my family without me. And I didn't take the pictures, and I don't know when or where it was. They had to coordinate it without me. They showed up to a place together. But and then my dad, whenever he sees Zishan, he goes, "Dijon, my boy!" And which is a really big deal because my dad just doesn't care about any of my other friends, especially Sam. And Chris.
But no, Sasha, we're thrilled to welcome Sasha into the fold. I think a big fear is that one of your best friends will marry a girl who doesn't like the other guys. She'll realize how immature and inappropriate we are, but Sasha has accepted us. It's been great. And I owe a lot to them. They met on Coffee Meets Bagel, a dating app. Yeah, and Zishan told me about it, and my fiance here, I also met on that app, thanks to them. And even more thanks to Zishan, she said she only matched with me because I had brown people in my pictures. And it was a picture of me and Zishan, but she's like, a white guy who only has white friends you can't trust. Probably voted for Donald Trump, so thank you Zishan twice for that.
And Sasha, you're the perfect addition to our group. You bring fun, you bring wit, and a much-needed on-call lawyer. Sasha works in corporate law, and it really shows because of how easily she did a merger into our friend group and an acquisition of our hearts. Wipe away tear. So you probably already know these, but we put together a few just tips for how to deal with Zishan. So one thing is, if he ever gets a little testy, just tell him that the cable bill went up and have him call and just yell at them for a couple of hours. It really works. He loves it.
Also, if you're in the car and music is playing, and just let him sing along. He doesn't know the words, it's okay, but he loves to sing as loud as he can. And, that's something Zishan likes to do, just whenever.
And you know what? Just boys will be boys. They just want to have fun.
A couple of years ago, I went to basic training, and when I joined the Army, Zishan was the most vocal opponent of it. He's like, Trump's gonna get you killed. The jury's still out on that. But actually, I didn't have a phone or anything, so I wrote letters. It was pretty boring, but Zishan responded with a letter. I brought it here tonight. And what's great is I called my mom. I was like, hey, is that box of letters still there? I had her read it aloud to me. I'll let you read it. It was very inappropriate for her to read aloud to me. Super uncomfortable experience with my mom. But the one thing that was cool that was in here was, I think you wrote this, it's the 7th of November, 2017. You're like, hey, I think I'm gonna propose to Sasha soon. And we always knew as soon as you met Sasha that I was like, eventually it's gonna happen, this is the one. So, thank you for the letter. Not everyone wrote back, but Zishan did. I'll always remember that.
And to Zishan, you've always been a father figure to me, or a weird, older-looking stepbrother, I don't know. Some of the greatest moments of my life were quickly followed by booming laughter from Zishan. He's just always been there. We lived together, we traveled together, we moshed together, we jumped out of a plane together, we slept together. And here's some more adventures. And as Rembrandt once said, I'll be there for you.
Because you're there for me too.
Time.
Yeah.